No.
Good. Just call the meeting to order.
How's that corn, all right?
Just 17. Are there any additions or amendments to the last regular meeting?
Make motion to adopt minutes.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? This is adopted. Are there any comments from the board?
Hey, I have one, no, I missed one of this. I think before the meeting actually begins, and maybe I missed this already, because it is the anniversary of 9/11, maybe we should just take a minute to have, a moment of silence.
Moment of silence.
Is that okay?
Thank you, everyone. There's no other comments. We'll continue on with the oiling and bills.
One did I already? Someone wants this first. I'll look at all of this. Linda, this one here. This dog that was
Running at large, picked up, had quills in it, had to be sent to Pittsfield Vet to have the quills removed. And if you look at Silver Street Kennel, that's where the gold sheets are. It'll tell you what happened to the dog eventually. I can't remember if he's one of the adopted, I think he might have been one of the adopted ones. So it never got claimed by whoever it belonged to. But as a town dog, the town is responsible.
responsible for taking the clothes out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I marked on each one of the gold sheets so that you know what happened, whether they were adopted out or whether they had to be. I think most of them got adopted out, but
That was an expensive little dog, between $100 or front and back foot to that and that down. Ay, ay, ay. What's up here?
No, thanks.
Already arranged?
take me to Jared, that's fine.
Okay.
I've looked at that.
Oh, okay.
Still doing the amount, so.
I'm saying it cost us 5,000 like years ago.
That's the paint for the municipal building steps
Oh, okay.
and the decking for
Okay.
the ramp.
Okay. I wasn't sure where it was used, that was. I don't know. Really, so look it up.
Paint looks like it may stick.
Some fancy store-bought stuff.
Next.
Here we go, Mr. Fellow.
Sand.
Oh, from, where else? Downstairs, and pretty good.
It's the best we've seen from anybody, it's the cheapest and it's the closest. We're wrapping it up between your builds and Lucas.
Together, there's two of them.
Oh, tomorrow. Any special order?
Those are both general.
Yeah. Oh, the general.
Yep,
We both last time, or?
yep.
It's been there.
Gee.
It might have been stuck to these staples or something.
What do we have? The gas down a little bit this month, isn't it? The silvers are down a little bit this month. 39?
Yeah, depends on the tips. Sometimes you get an extra tip in a month.
Yeah.
The weight's been pretty constant.
Report on that,
Really?
so continue on grade 17.
Yeah.
Unless it's illegal.
Yes, it is.
What did he end up having to do with that?
Just about rebuilt the whole dump body of the last assemblies. That's the new Lisbon.
Yeah. And it says, the RAM all right, was it?
As is, where is.
That's used as half price of new one.
Shake your head, what parts are today? What truck is this for?
We're on the 6th one.
Oh. One thing about it, John, you gotta get them back in shape.
Yeah, new one. New one's sitting there.
Huh? Just everything's getting so darn expensive. I'll make a motion, Supervisor Pettibone.
Is there a second?
I will second that motion.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Motion carried. The state has a program in place, a grant program, to assist local justice courts with purchasing furniture, supplies, office equipment. The town justice would like to make an application to the program for grant money. I'd like to introduce Resolution 15, 2012, a resolution granting permission for us to, for the town justice to submit an application to the state for grant monies to purchase various items for the office.
I will make that motion. So that was that first.
I will second the motion.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution adopted. At last month's meeting, the topic of doing work to improve a driveway on Pitsley Road came up. We've been in contact with the property owner. By the state law, the town board needs to authorize the highway superintendent to utilize town funds to make alterations to the driveway.
Within the right of way.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
The expense will be minimal. So is there a motion authorizing the town highway superintendent to make alterations to driveway and Pitsley Road at the town expenses?
Pete, could we have just a little discussion first? Sure. Several times in the last 30 years, situations come up, not necessarily just about this, but as far as installing sluice pipes. Always the highway superintendents wanted to put them in to make sure the pitch was right and everything was right. And we've kind of offhandedly all said, yes, that's a good idea. So I kind of like to think about incorporating the whole thing in one little package here, that they do that, and then we have it once and for all, we have it down, authorizing if it needs to have it by state law.
You're talking about, he needs by state law, he needs the authorization of the board to do the work.
But I want to incorporate not just one driveway, I want to do them as he needs to deem fixed, and if somebody wants a sluice pipe in, as the highway superintendents want to do, as they always wanted to do it, put that in there.
That's the town sluice policy. And here's the law if you want to read that.
No, I don't need to read that, I just want to know what the town is.
I'd say you have to do it
On the base,
on every place. You
Yes.
can't do it one place.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
But this doesn't say anything about who's going to
It's
do it,
A right up here.
right?
That's what this one says.
This doesn't really say that this is how we want it to happen, but
right, as far as the town doing the work,
I mean, what is your feeling?
this,
What is your feelings? I mean, you're a different highway superintendent. What is your feelings?
Give me permission, and it's usually no different to fix a driveway once than it is to fix the road every
Right.
time it rains.
And at that point, when we talked about it last, that the homeowner bought the sluice pipe and the town will put it in.
That's the first time,
yeah.
and then if
How
it gets
that always used
replaced,
to work, Terry,
Huh?
with sluices.
They bought the sluice and we put it in.
If they wanted to replace how it used to work, it still worked that way, right?
Yes, they still have.
That's the way it always has worked. Now, I don't know if we want to make a policy change, but now's the time to do it, where we're covering all this stuff.
within a new situation, you want to have it done to certain specs. of the
Absolutely,
swale.
and I think at that point, you need to have to have a permit from the highway department. It doesn't
Right.
necessarily have to cost anything. I know most of the towns in Delaware County, if we go in and pave it, we have to go to the highway superintendent and get a permit. We do not have to pay for it. It has to be approved by the highway superintendent, so the back slope is away from the shoulder and the water doesn't drain onto the road.
Right.
But we have to get a permit on repaving, or on paving, and not repaving, but paving, and installation of new driveways. We had to go to the highway superintendent and get a permit in most Delaware County towns. Otsego County, you have to do it on the county road and the state road, but not the towns. But, you know, if you want some control over it, on new, I don't know how you want to do it. You just people, you don't want them freelancing in there without your permission.
Well, any new ones have gone in since I've been in, they've come to us anyway.
Right.
I don't,
With site distance enters into that and everything else.
it'd be nice to talk to everybody before they put a new driveway in. Eliminate some problems.
And we kind of incorporate these into one motion.
Not in all actuality, not, because then you're changing policy.
Yeah, that one there, so you need to change that policy, but the
You-
permit must be getting from the highway superintendent.
Yeah. Which, with that, I don't really have a problem with that, because in all actuality, it requires that your approval, but it doesn't say you have to come get a permit. And then the only thing is, if you
Well,
come
the
to get
only
it-
thing, that's covering, basically, they have to install it to the highway superintendent.
Yes, that's what it says.
That's what this is saying.
Right.
That we're addressing here.
I understand that, but we
is
are authorizing
authorizing-
together.
What, yes.
To do that, to go back and fix the situation when
Right.
it enters the town road, but I'm just thinking sluice pipes are part of that, because, right, with the way the installation of the sluice pipe is how that they enter into the town road.
Right, but that's installation, that should be done at the time of installation.
Right.
This is fixing an existing problem from prior, that's what we're making a motion on. If you want to deal with
Let's
what
make a
you're
motion on
doing,
that one,
then we gotta amend the policy, so in all actuality, it really takes 2 meetings if you do it legally, review, and then you adopt. So this meeting is to adopt
Just authorize.
the authorization, and I'll make the motion to authorize.
And also, but let's make it for all driveways, I don't want any one driveway.
No, on this one,
Just-
is specifically this
Specifically
driveway.
for this driveway.
So every time he wants to alter a driveway, he's got to come and do that? As long as it's within the right of way?
It's gonna tack a month on every driveway that we have to work on.
I don't think we can do anything for just one individual. I think if the situation arises from the town, he has the permission from the board as a policy to go do that.
But then we should be.
Okay, then we're
Then
gonna
we should
have
be
to
incorporating
change,
it into that one and change that.
something here.
Well, and that's fine.
So,
but
I
I'm just
mean,
saying, I don't like to
this is
address anything as a
authorization
one
to take
thing.
care of things right now.
Because you were even talking about somewhere around, big little filer last time and stuff. It wasn't just one driveway you were talking about.
No, there's plenty of driveways.
That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, then we've got to incorporate it into the policy, and that, but I mean, if we want to take care of this.
Well, that
now,
wouldn't really be a policy. All the law says is that I need permission from you guys to
That's all he's asked for,
use.
permission to use
So-
funds to fix the
I don't
roads
think it
within
can-
the right of way.
That you want to limit, you want to know how much is going to be spent. You know, if this particular one that we're talking about can be done for $100, you know, it's not a big deal. But if you're getting into a couple $1,000 to do something, that's a whole different scenario.
So you don't want me out building new fancy driveways for people.
Well, no, we're just saying for water on the
There's some
driveway.
merit to that, yes.
We're just saying on the entrance of the road, John,
Yeah.
within the right of way, you're not gonna, if you can't get off the right of way, we got
Yeah.
a rod and a half.
Yeah.
24/9 from the.
Yeah. Rod and a half.
It'd be all right with me if you just had in the minutes, if you gave me permission to
alter the driveways as needed and necessary. That's the way I'd like to see it. I don't want to like to leave it to see any one-shot deal, then you're sorting people out, and favoritism, call, everything else, you gotta have
You gotta do it the same for,
for everybody, and that's the way it always has been in the town of Morris. I'd like to make it general. I mean, it's never ever come to us before. Perry wanted to fix it, they were Frank wanted to do it, they went and fixed it.
well, I went and read the law.
Yeah, I
That's my name.
understand. Well, I'm not saying that, John, I'm not being critical, I'm just saying, I think we gotta treat everybody the same.
Well, I agree with
And
you.
I don't think you can do one and then change the policy next week.
I agree with that too.
Yeah, I mean, I agree in that respect, but I mean, if there is a issue of, I mean, I'm not really worried about that. I'm not really worried about that you're gonna go overboard and start doing everybody's driveways.
That I like.
Yeah, no, like, that's not my issue.
Jacob, we're going back 24 feet. I don't care what they do. How much money can you spend in 24 feet?
Yeah,
You take a bucket loader, you back do it, put some gravel in, you're there a little while, how much money can you possibly spend? And I know I'm in this business. It's not like we're talking a fortune.
And Jacob, also some places, we go back, we probably fixed them 8 times.
Yeah, I totally,
Yeah, I'm sure.
I totally understand
You
that.
wanna fix it right.
It's a matter of,
Yeah, so we don't
I
have
agree with
to
you.
do somebody's driveway and it's like, surprise. But,
Do you need permission to work in your right of way?
No, you need permission to use, town assets from the board though, by the law. So if we have to bring in a load of gravel, or stick a tube in, or do something,
With a tube that goes to the landowner,
well,
that's the policy. They needs
if we need a truckload of gravel,
see, that's where I'm saying we're getting, that, I mean, if you gotta put a tube in or, and it's not, and the person says, no, I don't need a tube, and, that's where I'm kind of,
I mean, even I talk $125 for a foot tube.
well, we need a tube and a half, so
Yeah, I'm good, I'm
$200.
saying. I will make the motion to make it general for the whole, as we're gonna do it until the policy changes, to do it the one and same for everybody. I will do that. I will not support doing it for any one individual.
my question is, you show me the law. It says,
Huh?
I said, my problem is, you show me the law, it says board has to approve. And
That's my problem too. Well, it has to prove me doing it.
Yeah, that's
So
what I
you either
mean.
prove me doing it or you don't.
But I need to go carte blanche and say, then there's no need for, then, it's one approval and.
Well, it's just whether or not you trust me.
It's not just that, you gotta fix your roads right.
No, but if you're not here next year, you gotta trust the next one, because you already made.
Well, you can always change your policy,
Well, this one is policies, the way you
or
want it.
permission, you can do whatever you want, but I don't think Jonathan can run in here every time he's got a situation and the fix has to go ahead and fix something to somebody's driveway, whether the foot comes and wants it down, he can't come in here and ask permission to fit to somebody's driveway where he's doing from the center of the road, going 26.5 feet, which is no further than this room. I mean, it's not like we're doing a lot of stuff to make our roads better and protect our own roads. If he doesn't fix these things, Then he's got to address the road issue, which is gonna cost us a heck of a lot more.
I know, but I mean, you read the law and it says he has to come for permission when he does the driveway.
No, it has
It has to have approval by.
and we can make it an approval for him to work within the right of way. I'm sure the county doesn't come around and ask the county board permission to do every driveway they fix, not within the right of way or whatever they do.
Seemed easy to me,
I know.
but I don't know how this stuff works.
My concern though is when it's written there for a reason, and I don't necessarily know the reason.
I just don't see a problem with it. We give him permission to fix the ones that need to be fixed within the right of way, to do the best he can to keep the roads in proper working condition. Or it's gonna cost us a lot of money in some instances.
Well, I totally agree with that, but it should be just get permission from the highway committee, and it's fine with me too, but I mean, it's not necessarily that you have to have a regular monthly meeting. You gotta vote on this too.
Just doing, carte blanche, I think the board should, or the committee, should be aware of what driveways are a problem.
Well, being aware of is one thing, but go to a board meeting to get permission at each board meeting, waiting out for 2 months, that happens next week, and gotta wait till next board meeting till we can go and take action on it, this doesn't seem right. You can inform us of it. That you had a situation where you had to deal with it.
I'm not bringing these in one at a time. I can either use a load of gravel or I can't, basically.
That's what I'm saying. Not a big deal.
If I can't, I can't.
Well, we can always rescind it if it doesn't work that well, so I'll make the second on the motion.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
But I do think we should review the policy and as to whether or not we want it permitted so that people realize that they've got to meet the specs before they put it up.
Yeah, especially new drivers.
It's not that, I mean, you got to prove them either, you should be able to prove them either way, but then you don't have to argue with you don't have to argue with somebody after they put a driveway in and, if they can't permit first, then they realize it's your
You might
specs.
go over to the state DOT and just get one of the little drawings, it doesn't have to be blacktop down, where they show all that they got, it was just backswale off the slope, and just hand it, say, we want it backswale so the water doesn't go out on the road and it runs off one way or another, and have it, so he'd like to have the throat of it, 24 foot wide, that's what standard is, where it radiuses in. They got them over there,
Well, we have,
but we can work on that.
in our policy, we also have pictures and dimensions
Oh,
and
yeah.
grades and everything.
All I'm saying though is we don't really say that you have to have permit first to do it.
That's-
Right, I understand.
That's all I'm saying. It might be-
a big formality, have something a little formality.
Target me if you don't even need a permit. Just come talk to us.
Yeah, but
It
then-
should happen,
But
but
then if
somebody's
you
not.
don't need permits, someone's thinking, I don't need, I'm not gonna do what I want to do.
Or we can't do anything if we give them a permit and they don't do anything, we can't do anything about it anyway.
It's not right, dig it out, just like they do in other places.
But then you're on legal ground.
All right, Temperature day at the transfer station scheduled for 22nd of this month. Budget workshop, when you want to do it? Want to do it before the next meeting or after?
Four, I think. Why
Yeah,
don't we
let's do it before.
7?
Yeah, fine, man.
So I have numbers to work with. What's the recommendations or as far as salaries?
I forget, time goes by so fast, this is
2010, 2011, we did 2-year contract of 5%, 3% the first year, 2% the second year. 2012, we did a 2% increase.
So we only did 1 year, that
Yes,
was my
for
first.
2012.
So you can have something to figure out from 2%.
Figuring single year,
What do you think? I like multi-years, I don't want to do it every year, but
Yeah, let's look at 2 years.
Finance Committee reviewed the supervisors and clerk collectors' financial reports for the month of August 2012 prior to the meeting. That's all I have. John?
Oh, boy. We're drawing sand. I'm not gonna put it over on the fairgrounds property, because I don't like moving it twice. We're putting it on our own property. And as soon as the ground's froze, we're gonna work off the backup pile down at the back of the fairgrounds. And then if it gets too soft for us getting out of there, we'll just go to the pile that's on our own property. I don't like moving that. Take all that time, build a ramp, just to move it. Pete Road Bridge, we called Spectra, they came out, looked it all over. They sent drawings on what they can do to fix the thing. And they told me 16 grand, and they said that was high. There's room in there for a couple things to go wrong or whatever. That came in about 4:30 this afternoon.
What rating were they looking at? Tonnage.
I don't know, I can ask them.
probably the same one as last year.
I guess so. I don't think you can pick up any without you doing the whole thing. Want to talk about
I
that?
think the
further?
Luxembourg sounds a lot nicer than 200,000. So our taxpayers have a way to have access back and forth.
It's eligible for reimbursement from CHIPS, which right now we have 125-ish. And the bridge rehabilitation that happened in '09 was on CHIPS, but what got rehabilitated in '09 still is good. So we're eligible for reimbursement on the things that are wrong with it now.
Well, I personally, for no more than that, would like to see it fixed. Maintains the flow for our people. People cut through there, use it. $16,000. Gonna break the bank. So I'm gonna make the motion to go ahead and proceed? Do we have to take bids, or can we just get?
It's over 10, so we have to bid it, I believe.
I don't believe so because
Quotes up to
the
20.
county,
Oh,
the company that did it before is on the contract with the county.
okay.
So
As long as they have a contract.
as long as they
We
bid
don't
through
have
the
to bid.
county, where it's like, we can go out during the truck, we can go off the county bid.
I'll make that motion. Let them repair it.
Okay, is there a second?
This will bring it back up to where it was before. I mean, time-wise and everything else is the question.
I believe it'd take it back to where it was before the tree fell on it.
Would have to pass, it's got to pass,
Yeah,
the state's
it's gotta
passed.
Yeah, it's not gonna take it back to when it was,
No.
when all the rivets were new. It's gonna take it back to
That's all I'm
10.
That is kind
But it's rated, I heard, at 16 and placarded at 10. That's what the engineer told me a couple of years ago.
of, if it gets back up to 10. And sometimes they fix it, but then they lower it down to 5 or whatever.
State had a couple bridges come down, so they err on the side of caution now, so they don't get fired when someone drives across and the bridge falls up.
All in favor, aye? Opposed? Motion adopted.
Now, CHIPS also has changed their rules on resurfacing. We can resurface paved roads every 5 years and get reimbursed from
You're
CHIPS.
talking resurface or chip seal?
Chip sealing is resurfacing.
No.
Yes, it is. It is according to,
Okay.
it is according to the
Okay.
CHIPS. Single course, double course chip seal is categorized under resurfacing a paved road. And that's eligible to be reimbursed every 5 years instead of 10. The rams on the wheel loader, the loader's been holding up pretty good lately since the last time we got it fixed, and we still got hydraulic fluid. Those rams, the 3 big rams on it, need to get repacked. And we were gonna do that, and then it broke, and then it took forever to fix. But now it seems fixed, and it seems all right at the moment. You want me to have those rams repacked?
We go back in ice.
No, I take them right over to Jerry. We pull them off ourselves, run them across the street to Jerry, he can repack them, and then we put them back on ourselves. We save the labor
Okay.
of having
Well, you
their
can't go out
mechanic
leaking oil.
steam Jenny it and take the thing apart themselves, and we don't have to truck it anywhere. And he'll work with our schedule, so it's not, we don't lose it for a month or two. We can just trot over there for a couple days.
It doesn't take that much to.
No.
Get fixed. Yeah, good, I'm not right, excuse me.
And I found a used boom mower for $10,000. It will go on a 3-point hitch. It's up at Clinton Tractor. It's got a 17-foot boom with a 6-foot bush hog out on the end of it. So we could drop it over guardrails, and we have 4 weeks with no rain this year, still have wet spots, so we can't get the tractor with a flail mower in. So every place where we have to do that, we're looking at handwork. We're on a side bank where it's wet with chainsaws and or weed eaters with circular saw blades on them. It'd be a whole lot more productive and a whole lot safer. If we had a boom mower, we could drop over there and just drive along and chew everything up. They're 30 grand new. It's about 6, 7 years old. They took it on trade. They've been through it, says it looks all right to them. Belly mowers are 60 for a boom. It's not too big a one.
You got a counterweight on that?
But that,
You got a counterweight on it?
I'm not sure. It's on a 75 horse tractor right now, and they're using it. And there's no counterweight on that. But I believe it would depend on the individual geometry of what we're putting it on. But I would say if we could get it, run the tractor right up there, and if it needs counter ballast or
Put a bunch of wheelways on one there.
some plumbing, you know, some kind of controller for the hydraulics or whatever, they can do it while it's right up there.
So how much were you saying, John?
10 grand, 9,995.
So would they take yours in on trade?
They said they would. I don't have a price on what they give me.
Well, they wouldn't know what they looked at.
They'd have to look at the thing. But that's 10 years old. And of course, new, I think it was 8 or 10 grand. 12. So I don't know what we'd get for it, if it'd be worth selling it.
You can get a couple $1,000 for it, better than just letting it sit and grow and take it to Heimers. Or whatever. I mean, couldn't hurt to see.
You could use both of them, right?
They're kind of two different tools.
Yeah.
You know, the flail mower is gonna do a better job on that first pass. And then the bush hog is gonna
Get a little reach to it.
add the boom on it. And the tractor's plenty good enough to accommodate it.
Walter and John, back when that tractor, you talked to John, or you talked to Walter? Maybe still.
We got money enough to buy a piece?
Yeah. We could make an offer.
I am.
Something else, I don't know how.
Yeah, you negotiate with them. We never paid their price.
Really?
Really?
Well, let's make something, let's set something here, and somebody try to, they gotta negotiate, do it, so somebody else gets it, there's something you need, and we got the money to buy it, and it'll save you labor and do a better job. I don't have an issue with it, we got the money.
I wouldn't trade the flail mower.
No, I wouldn't either.
So, let's make them an offer and see, say authorizing not, make a motion not to exceed 10,000. But let's see you do the best deal you can with it. Come with board's hedging on 9.9 and try to get them down a little bit and see what they do. They don't have to know the difference.
Right.
You making this motion?
You only get how much?
I didn't say anything. I said we can improve up to that so we can do something and see where he's at. Or you deal with him, you pick the phone up and then make the deal.
Go ahead. Sure you have a better relation with them than we do.
Well, I can give them a call, but you'll do the final. But I make the second motion and, if I come up with a better deal, John.
You're gonna call them on my behalf, on our behalf?
On our behalf, but you'll get the final say on it.
To a max 10,000. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Now, the hydraulics on our front end loader that's on that tractor are off the levers. There's no joystick in there. And I don't know what they're gonna have to do to plumb the thing up. You know, they might have to put
That's why we in negotiations, get them to put it in the new thing.
Toss in the joystick and
So the price
plumb it up.
and say you got something we can talk about.
So I work with you on that. Thank you. I got nothing else.
One more thing, I get them with the highway or where it is. We've talked about it and talked about it. Is that roof on that auction barn? We've talked about it and talked about it. In 3 years now, it hasn't got done. We keep saying we're gonna do it this year, wait till fall, and here we said again in September, and nothing's being talked about.
$9,000 for material. For purlins and painted steel, all the trim.
And you feel that your crew could have time to put it on? Is that what you told me?
Oh, yeah. They all agree with me.
You kidding me?
They'd be happy to help me.
I see the volunteers.
Well, I'd say let's get the roof on that building. It needs it. We put it off, and if we got any respect for our town and our buildings and keeping things up, we've got to maintain our buildings.
I agree, but it's up to John if he's got time or whatever to do it.
The money's budgeted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
say, Dave?
What's Coda say?
It'd also be awful nice to put a coat of paint on the two buildings. It'd be nice to put a coat of paint on those truck boxes. And it'd be nice to put a coat of paint on these 3 bridges that we got. Slow down the corrosion on the bridges and
I agree.
I talked to the county about the bridges. That's all stuff we can do ourselves. They have rules for us, but we don't need to get a special bridge painter in to do it or anything.
As far as your truck box that goes down, that's maintenance that can be done in your shop on your budget. You get them up, you get them prepped, and you take care of them, and only makes us feel good and look better. As far as the buildings, I say we got to make them look good, make them do some maintenance on them. It hasn't had anything done in a long time, and I've been hollering and hollering about it, and there's nothing I'd like to see more. What's your feelings?
Well, it's normal.
Normal maintenance.
I told you last month, just go do it.
Get our blessing.
I want 9 for 9 tonight.
Lucky you guys.
Yes, the other side of the bridge.
Dave.
Gotta pay the paper.
All set?
All set.
Anything else?
Don't think so.
Did that have to be an official motion or not for the,
To do normal maintenance?
no, the $9,000 in materials?
You know, we gotta.
No, that was budgeted.
Yeah. When is this Pete Road Bridge gonna be done? It's very important to us. What's the date?
Yeah, depending on the company doing it, they'd have to call them.
You have no idea.
We just appropriated tonight.
Okay.
It's like you putting in a barn cleaner, so Farmer City wants to do it, but depends on when barn can put it
You
in.
got it.
And when he gets it. Well, let us know when you find out.
I'll come down every time I hear something. I'll come down and find you.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, no more business tonight. Motion to adjourn?
Second.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.